let's talk about dreams. So we last week talked about the winners of the IMPY Awards, obviously, and for the next couple of weeks we're going to talk about all of the runner-ups. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the winner, the dream of the year, and then for the weeks following we're going to talk about the runner-ups as well. But we were like, we'll get the big dog or the big pig, I guess in this case.
Ooh.
Got it? See what I did there? We'll get the big pig out of the way first. So the game we played, which was the Dream of the Year. That was what it was, right? I'm not getting that wrong.
Yeah, Dream of the Year.
It was titled Dream of the Year. It was called Pig Detective 2 Adventures in Cowboy Town. Now, I haven't played Pig Detective 1. I don't think you've played Pig Detective 1. Right?
I might have started it the dream one time, but
other than that,
I don't recall. No.
So the creators of this, there's a whole bunch, but the main ones are someone called SdeReu and LOTTE_double.
Yeah. Lot and Sebastian.
Lot and Sebastian, who are this. They are a team
Pig Detective.
Pigs. I was trying to think of a joke, couldn't get one. But yeah, there's a bunch of people that help out as as Dreams works, and there are a lot of people involved with this because this game is easily the most involved thing I've ever played in Dreams. It's the longest thing as well. So it took me an hour to beat. And by the time I got to the end, it said I did a very bad job at being a detective because I only got 20 of 50 or something.
Yep. Same.
Secret detective things or something like that. But this game is, it seems heavily inspired by Telltale games, I guess is the easiest way to put it. Or it's like
an old school adventure game, like your Grim Fandangos or your other ones of that time.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. So it's not heavily, it's not hard like those though. Puzzle wise, it's not hard to figure out what to do.
No,
there's not heaps of options and stuff. But yeah, it's very much the game starts. You pick detective. You arrive in this cowboy town because you get asked to go there.
I will say in the start menu they got a recap, so you can recap.
They do
part one.
Part one, which is handy. In case you
very handy
missed the story because they are relevant.
In case
characters.
you forgot. Or you didn't play it.
We didn't play it, yeah. So then Pig Detective goes to this cowboy town, and then it is that thing of you can walk around cowboy town, you interact with characters, you gotta try and obviously find out what to do. His example is when you get off the train, there's a saloon right in front of you. You're I need to get in there to find the person I want to talk to, but you can't get in because you don't have the right amount of the right clothes. You need proper cowboy gear. So then you head on over to the clothing store and it's you need money. So then it's I need to find a way to get money. You talk to this other person who's I'll give you $10 if you track down the pig. So then you end up trying to track down the pig. And then while you're down there, you end up on this whole fucking whirlwind adventure and you find a way to get gold and sell the gold and do all this stuff. But it's one thing leads to another to another. It's your typical sort of adventure gamey stuff, but all of the boil it down to I guess why it won Dream of the Year is they've got all these character models, each are unique, several change throughout the game. They're all voiced even, and I'll say they're not voiced well.
It's part of the charm, but
it is. It definitely is voiced. It's definitely feels like a homemade product, obviously, and that's the thing with Dreams, and that's what makes it fun, I guess. Obviously, if this was if voice acting like this existed in a game, like a Telltale game or something, you'd be like,
yeah, I would like a refund, please.
Yeah, but this isn't great. But obviously for this, because it's this handcrafted product within the Dreams universe, it's charming that all these people are trying. I guess I'm trying not to be mean, but it's it's not great, and that's fine.
And that to an extent it fits the era of the film, of the game. It's going for a noirish
I guess. But a lot of people are putting on these like funny accents trying to like, hey, partner. And like some of them aren't great.
Yeah.
Some of them aren't great. But they got like several people doing voices. All the characters are voiced.
A lot of people doing voices because they had a very long credit sequence.
Credits list at the end, yeah.
And at the start, like opening credits.
Yeah, opening credits, right.
10 names.
Right. Yeah. They're like, all these people made the game. Then they're like, all these people plus all these people voiced and all this sort of stuff. It's great. Like, really, it's like the most pure example I've seen of like, is people in the Dreams universe are like, I want to be a voice actor, and they're like getting hired to come do voice actor jobs on Dreams products and other people. There's original music in this fucking game. Like, yeah, there's a song at the end that's original, plays in the credit sequence or whatever. So craziness. And it's got, other than the puzzle solving, which is very simple, of like, talk to this character, get this item, take that item over to place, get money, buy thing, you know, like simple talk to characters. In the conversations, one thing I really enjoyed is it doesn't have a static camera. Like the camera's always like, it's got a moving camera, cinematic aspect to it. You know, like it cuts to different angles when you're talking to characters. You get multiple options to pick when you're talking to characters of like to be an asshole or not be an asshole. At one point it comes up and says Pig Detective will remember that. So like, that was quite good. But I really enjoyed it. Like, I mean, I understand why it got Dream of the Year, because it's very big. It's got several handcrafted environments, characters, lots of characters.
Lots of cuts and locations. Yeah,
effects. It switches to first person at several points to make you interact with different things, including a gun, which isn't great, but like it's cool that it exists.
There's a bunch of like mini game things that don't work particularly well. Especially because they're relying on motion controls, which I feel
don't work. Yeah, but I'm like, I appreciate
freaking pan.
Yeah, the pan thing was an ass.
Yeah, it
was the worst.
You just hold it at the right angle and hope that
gold
stays in the pan.
I just shook it around and hoped for the best every time until I got what I needed, because I was getting so annoyed with it. But yeah, it's like, I can understand why this obviously got Dream of the Year. This is just the most like full game I've played in Dreams for sure. Like, it doesn't feel like an experience. It's only an hour, obviously, so it's not a very long game. But at the same time,
it can be longer.
Yeah, if you want to track down and do everything, obviously.
Apparently, there's difficulty settings. I just set it straight to easy because
I set it to medium because I was like,
I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah, I don't know what the difference is, but I just clicked medium. I'm like, what? Surely that's like normal. But yeah, it's like, it's an hour, and by the time you play through it, you get a full story. You've made decisions. There's a weird plot thing that I'm like, do I spoil it? No, I won't spoil it because people won't play. But there's like weird stuff that happens.
I just wonder if there's multiple endings.
Really?
Like, is that really? Crazy. I'm assuming we both had the same ending where we end up trapped and come out of the well, right?
Yeah.
I can't. Maybe there's another ending where he solves everything.
Maybe if you get 100% of the detective collectible things or whatever, detective points. Yeah. But it's the only dream game that I've played where, like, by the end and the credits rolling, I'm like, I felt actually like I've finished something, like I've played a game, you know.
Where are my trophies?
Yeah, give me like Pig Detective 2 trophies.
Where's my where's my platinum for Pig Detective?
It's horrible. But if this is like this is well deserving Dream of the Year, because it's like the most pure example I've seen of stuff.
We'll find out over the next 6 weeks.
Yeah. Look, if the rest
this is the bar that we've set. This is the bar that's been set. Yeah. So now everything else will be compared to it.
Yeah. I don't want to go for the following weeks and be like, yeah, this is great, but Pig Detective still deserved to win, blah blah blah. You know, like that'll be kind of mean, but like at the moment playing this, I'm like, I can understand why this won. It is a very full game, and for people who are like, oh, Dreams, like, you know, like, oh yeah, it sounds kind of cool, but I don't really want to play just like fucking 5-minute rip-offs of Mario and, you know, all that sort of stuff. That's kind of like that flooded the news stories, obviously, for the first, like, when Dreams come out in early access and all that. That stuff exists, obviously, but people are making shit like this, and this is where the good shit is, you know, original experiences like this, even if they've got some dodgy voice acting, it's still quite cool. And look forward to Pig Detective 3. when that they announced it in the credits, they're like, Pick Detective 3 is coming. I'm like, cool, I'm excited. Looking forward to Pick Detective 3. Will I go back and play 1? I don't think so at this stage. No, I think I'll just... It's like the never-ending story. I never watched part 1, but I watched part 2 a lot as a kid. You know? I just stayed on part 2. The first one of these. So the first game is called Topher Thebes and the... Thebes? Okay. Thebes and the Enchanted Crystal by Verbal Creative. So this game is about a crystal magic thing, and it has a rather long opening cutscene, I'll say, and like voice acted and all sorts of stuff happening. So that's quite cool. But it's like in this different land, and then they basically seek out a hero to come protect the crystal because some bad guy's trying to take it over. That sort of like typical.
No, it's
fantasy.
Corrupted the crystal needs a champion to come and rescue the realm. That kind of a story.
I guess it sounds like Zelda, really. Yeah, so this little Navi like thing, if we're going with the Zelda reference, then travels to the human land and seeks out someone to come save the land and the crystal, and they find Topher Thebes, which is a young child of, I would guess, 5 to 7 years old or something is how
pretty young.
What I assumed. And the opening cutscene does have a funny part where this little crystal, what is the thing? It's like a little glowing circle thing. I don't even know. It comes into the house and it's like, hey, come save the world and all this stuff. And it keeps calling the thing where it took over. It took over this like doll in the boy's room or something.
Some sort of toy,
Yeah, some sort of toy, and it took it over. And then the kid keeps just calling it the toy's name. And the being's like, no, I'm such and such. And then eventually the thing gives in. It's like, yes, I am TikTok. TikTok or whatever. And it's like, okay. It's like, do you want to come help us, Topher Thebes? And Topher goes, okay. But which, by the way, I was trying to work it. I'm like, whoever's doing this little kid's voice is doing a decent job because it's got the voice acting in this one wasn't actually bad between
it's pretty solid
kid and the monster, the bad dude thing, and then the whatever else, the narrator and stuff going on. This game's voice acting is a lot better than any of the voice acting in Cowboy Town, I gotta say.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the gameplay, when you finally get to it, it's a combination of, I guess, puzzles, sort of, and platforming. But I hated the platforming. It was real floaty, and I found it really hard to jump onto these moving platforms, and I died a lot of times in a row trying to do it, to the point I was just getting really annoyed. And I would rank this at the bottom of the full list of 7 games for sure, solely because the platforming annoyed me quite a bit. And I was enjoying the opening cutscene. I was like, cool, I'm into this. Let's go. Look, this kid saving the world type storyline. Let's go. And then I was like, this platforming is annoying me. How did you feel about it?
I mean, it was enjoyable enough. It feels like a old school like platformer, like a 3D. Mm-hmm. Obviously, like of the Banjo-Kazooie kind of era, but obviously not as like involved. A lot of the puzzles were simple-ish and kind of just involved button spamming at certain points to open up different locks and things. Again, the platforming, some of it was a bit difficult. Like I think I got stuck at like this bridge that you need to jump across that closes. Apparently, you need to double jump and then attack, and that slightly pulls you across a little bit further so you can make the jump. I mean, it's animated well. Obviously, it's a big level that you play through the first time, so it's pretty impressive. And like a lot of these games, it's just part 1. So
well, we'll say that now. A lot of these end with more coming soon, or like part 1, or follow for updates and stuff like that. And that's kind of one of them actually has a full finish, but I think a lot of the reason Cowboy Town Run is because it's a full experience.
It's complete. Yeah.
It has a start, it has a story, it has a gameplay structure, it has like a 3-act system sort of, and then the game's over, and then it's finishes, even if the last act seems very rushed. Yeah, so a lot of these start coming soon. But also, it's like compared to a lot of other games we talked about in the early days of Dream's early access stuff, all these ones we're talking about here that were nominated for Dream of the Year, they're all like, I don't want to say like quote unquote real games, because obviously that's like, I don't know, like everyone's trying their own thing, but it's like, obviously they've had a lot of work put into them, and you don't know how much time just these little sections that we're talking about took to fucking make, because they
you gotta
feel
think
legit.
all those things are made in with the controller.
Yeah. Fucking move controllers, whatever else is going on. Yeah. So as much as I wanted to like this, unfortunately, I cannot say I would suggest playing it, because the platforming, I really could not dislike it more. The next one is called Wind Up by Fireburn 2. This is an isometric hack and slash adventure game, I guess.
Yeah.
Would that sound about right, I guess? Yeah.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, so you play as like this little wind-up toy. That's where the wind-up comes. There's no like build-up to the story or any like explanation really of what's happening. The game kind of just starts.
Just get dropped in, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're in a dungeon, you're playing as this wind-up toy, you've got a needle something, or like a pin, I guess, as a sword. And then you start coming across these enemies, which are wind-up other sorts of toys, and you start beating them. They're easy, and then you progress further and you get to a stage where you're fighting against them, toy soldiers, like green toy soldiers, like think like Toy Story ones. They're shooting at you. There's jack-in-boxes that pop out and they like throw homing missile type stuff at you. Fireballs. And you have to use like bombs and stuff like that, and you basically progress and you take down the enemies and you make your way to the boss, and this boss is a big ass bird, and you beat the boss, and then you get a coming soon more. Hopefully it comes. They have a lot of structure. Like, I'll say though, in general, I enjoyed playing this game. I thought the gameplay was fun. It's got this dark visual style that's cool.
Cool.
Like it looks like if you showed this and was like, this isn't from Dreams, I guarantee a lot of people would be like, well, this looks cool, this looks interesting. And I think that's actually a thing for a lot of these games. Not all of them, because I think one we'll talk about later is very much like a Dreams game, like a meta Dreams game, obviously. But this one you could show it to people and be like, well, this is a game, I want to play this looks fun. But they have this like town sequence right before you kind of go off towards fighting the bird, and there's obviously a shop there. I never used the shop. You told me you never used the shop because it's like...
Well, you didn't have enough orbs.
Yeah.
To be able to buy anything.
I guess you would have to go like farm, like kind of walk in, kill stuff, walk out to reset the enemies.
I don't think there was any resetting though.
Yeah, there was.
I
accidentally reset them because I left the screen and came back. But why you would have to do that anyway, because unless you're really struggling to beat the bird, I guess. But I suppose... in the full game, if this game got finished and fully expanded over the next fucking year, I guess it would take them to add enough levels to have a full experience. But if they did that, then the shop would be like at different points, and that could be like a hub between the different like levels, I guess, or something like that. And
I assume that castle is like the hub.
Yeah, between different sections or something. Yeah, so that would make a lot more sense. But as it stands in this version, with only that one section or level or whatever we're going to call it, where you go fight the bird boss, it's like the shop seems a bit silly. But overall, I really like this. Did you like this one?
Yeah, like visually, it's very impressive, and like it's cool. Worlds, like obviously, it's like some sort of toy setting. I guess maybe it's like an outdoor, maybe it's like a kid's backyard or something. Obviously,
it's like Bloodborne with kids' toys.
Yeah, because there's like strewn toys all over the place, and obviously your big battle is a bird. There were a couple issues and that kind of stuff. I think when I walked back into the castle, all my orbs were reset, so I couldn't buy anything in the shop. That's the main reason. And then like the bird would be constantly caught behind a wall. I don't know if you had this problem, so you couldn't like actually attack it because it was stuck.
My main problem with the bird was at first I thought I was doing no damage to it because I was
the health bar was weird.
The health bar was weird, and it didn't it needed to react to when you hit it to like let you know that you're actually doing damage, like visually,
like some sort of visual,
visual thing to add to explain. Like if the health bar even started just like bouncing, like or pulsing, I guess, or something like that when you hit it, just something like that. So I knew what was going on because at first I thought I was using bombs, I was hitting it, I'm like, I'm doing fucking nothing. How the fuck am I supposed to beat this goddamn bird? And then I just kept wailing on it, and then the health bar slowly started going down. I realized it was going down somewhat. I'm like, oh, it's actually gone down a little bit. Okay, I guess I'll just keep hitting it, and we got there eventually. But yeah, at first I was like, this is weird.
Obviously because of the design of it, where it's growing from the ends in, like middling. Obviously you don't notice it as much.
Until it gets smaller, and then you can
Until it gets smaller, you go, oh yeah, it's actually smaller, yeah.
Yeah. So, but otherwise, I'll say this is good. I enjoyed it. I even died in it. So,
yeah.
It's not like super easy, I guess.
No, yeah. Cool design. I was like the couple of different characters and stuff in there as well. Like, just like walk up to some person, they text, but
yeah.
Still cool.
There's a good Jack in the Box right before you get on the bridge to go down to the bird thing. You walk up to it and it pops out and it says, "Boo, did I scare you?" I was like, yeah, because I thought you was a fucking bad guy. It's going to hit you. Come on. Yeah. The next one is called Mimeo Prophecy by Razor Baxwee. Yeah, sure. This one is a what's that game that everyone always points out? Like this sort of RPG game. There's like a Nintendo.
Homebound? Mother?
What would you say first?
Homebound?
Yeah, I think something like that, or one of those things. I don't know. But it's basically that.
Sorry.
Yeah, struggling. It's so it opens with this cutscene about this professor like doing some experiments in a building somewhere. And so something goes off. Obviously, it's like, oh no, it's alive. Not quite that, but stuff happens, and then it cuts to you, and you play as this kid who's just woken up. And then you go downstairs and you talk to your sister and you're like, oh, something crazy happened at the, I don't know, like the building.
Earthbound.
Earthbound, that's it. That is the game. Yeah,
Sorry.
So that's what this is. It's Earthbound type RPG is what this is. So it's like, oh, something crazy is happening. What are we going to go have a look, find out what's happening, this sort of thing. So you're like, oh, sister, go meet up with these people, do this. You start walking around the town. You start looking around and you can talk to a whole bunch of people and see what's up. Random things are happening. But then you go over to your friend's place and you talk with them. And by the end of the game, after doing a whole bunch of stuff, you end up in the actual building where the experiment stuff was happening. And mini puzzle in there, I guess. The game does introduce the idea of how combat would work, but it's only tutorial. You never actually fight any like actual battles unless I missed one myself. But
no.
And then by time at the end, this big flash happens and you set off a trap in this lab basically, and then like other stuff it says to be continued when we get more. But for what's here, I'm like, there's a lot. Like this town is quite big.
Is huge.
There's a lot
of rooms.
Yeah, there's a lot of rooms. There's lots of AI, NPC characters walking around, interacting and doing stuff. The town feels good. Like the town feels lived in, legit, well designed and all that sort of stuff. The dialogue was good between the characters. It's not voice acted. It's was it?
Text only. No.
I was going to say, I don't think it was voice. It's just all text only, but that's fine, obviously, because we're learning that Dream's voice acting is very hit and miss between people who's trying to make their voice acting careers happen. But yeah, the writing was good and all that. I enjoyed the banter between the characters. The game also has a good doggo in it, so it's automatically jumped up the
You
path.
can pet the dog. There is a button that's constantly on screen that lets you pet the dog.
Yep. So important, the game does let you pet the dog, if that Twitter handle wants to know. You can pet the dog in Mimeo Prophecy on Dreams, available Thursday. Get it out
Thursday.
Yeah. And then the one battle section you do is like against this sister of one of the other characters, I guess, is what it was, or something.
It was
he lives in an
girl.
orphanage. So yeah, I guess it's still like orphans. So if that's, I don't know.
I don't know enough about orphans.
Neither do I, sorry. But
orphanages.
The system. But yeah, you do battle against her. She's like in a toy tank. You get a toy sword. So a lot of this stuff was reminding me of Costume Quest, kind of, where you're like fighting with made up weapons that actually shouldn't do anything, but they're actually toys. which makes me wonder if the game continued. I'm like, are we getting transported to a different plane or something? And then like suddenly these toy weapons are going to become legit weapons or some shit like that. But yeah, do combat, and it's like live combat, like you're supposed to dodge in real time, and
it's an action RPG
style.
Like hack and slash-ish kind of combat. It was an interesting world, obviously very cool designs and that kind of thing, and like big. It was like a bit of a slog to get through the story, but I was hoping to get some more actual gameplay, but obviously that's coming.
Yeah, this is all set up.
It was all set up, which is a bit disappointing. And then there was a little bit of a like puzzle element, I guess, in the laboratory towards the end, but
not really. But
not really. It's just find things on the ground. Keep walking around until triangle comes up. But keen to see what it becomes in the future.
It's the thing that interests. Well, what this made me think about the most is for people who are creating Dreams games and they want to create something big. I would say if you legit sit there, like if you're taking your game serious, and especially if you're someone who's like, I want to be a game designer one day, I'm like using Dreams as a way to like practice my ideas and potentially get a job because it's possible, you know. Like I would say, if I sat down and you had Mimeo Prophecy mapped out in front of you, and you're like, section 1 is like this is the tutorial prologue-y type section of the game. Section 2 is over here, and that game's more action orientated and whatever. I would have built that first, you know, and just dropped people in, skipped all this, and then you could have potentially got more intrigue, I guess, because it would be more action heavy, and then go back and build this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously this is all set up, and it makes you go, okay, where's the action? Whereas maybe if it was all action...
Well, maybe they were keen to build the world. That's the story part is the most interesting part to them, so...
Maybe.
Whatever.
I guess.
I think the most time-consuming thing would be building the world, and like, obviously there's a lot of rooms and that kind of stuff. Dreams was like chugging a little bit at certain points, like loading... rooms.
We'll get to a game that
a lot of assets and stuff.
Chug in a minute. There's fucking the game after this is causes dreams to chug quite a bit. But yeah, I mean the town's big. There's lots of stuff happening in it. Lots of different little bits of whatever else, and NPCs walking around and all sorts of shit happening. So yeah, it's quite interesting, and I'd play more. I want to play more when it comes. I'd continue the story. I was enjoying this Earthbound experience because that's the game that we definitely know that it's called now. Next one was called Ruckus, and that was by Morishiro 1935. So this is Godzilla, basically. I mean, it's a Godzilla. This is the
Rampage.
Yeah, this is the most simple game of all of the nominees that they had in this whole thing here, because it is literally just like giant monster, town, smash buttons to break shit. Fucking, you've got laser beam breath, go ham. But also, I think this is visually one of the best Dreams games I've seen. And I think that comes down to a really good use of lighting effects and lots of different things. Because even just as you approach the town, it's like overhead, you've got this helicopter flying over you. And that's like lights are got everywhere. Suddenly you're blowing stuff up and there's lots of particle effects. You start using your laser breath, and that's obviously a different sort of effect. The monster's tail like kind of glows. Obviously the town has all these buildings lit up and all sorts of stuff like that. It was really cool how it would flick between the monster, and then it would like come up and show you the helicopter above, and like breaking news report, like monsters rampage still continues through downtown, and all this sort of stuff. And then, like, once you begin the rampage and you start breaking shit left, right, and center, and shit's exploding everywhere, this game is the most I've seen Dreams struggle because once you start breaking stuff and there's just so much stuff going on, it's just like Dreams is like, that is a lot of particles. That's lots of stuff happening on the screen right now. I'm starting to chug through this one, but I had fun with this. You know, it took like 10 minutes or whatever to do. And it's not the sort of thing you'd probably return to, but as a like thing that, especially if you're picking up Dreams on Thursday and you're looking for like a good example of like, here's just a fun thing you can play in 10 minutes. It's really solid. It's a full experience that you're just gonna have fun fucking breaking shit as a monster. This is fun. I did enjoy it. How'd you feel about this one?
Yeah, this is like the most like pick up and play experience I think on Dream so far. Like, obviously I'd seen it before. Like, I think it picked up a little bit of traction earlier in the year or last year. But yeah, it's a lot of fun just jumping around, destroying stuff. If they wanted to, they could add more elements, but I think based on stats, they stopped working on it around October, maybe to work on something else. But yeah, I had a good time. It's cute design. Yeah, obviously for the monster, and then like even the voice acting, which isn't great, is
it did
like
the job because it's
fun.
handy.
It's like for the tone of the game, and like cutting away to like this city news or whatever. Yeah, it was cool. I wish there was like more objectives and maybe something like that, something to like make me want to replay it again.
It's all it is a score.
It's just a score thing, which is like what's
you can try and get a combo.
What are the rules for the score?
I think if you broke shit fast, you'd start getting a multiplier, and then obviously the multiplier you break more. While the multipliers are going, get a high score there. But also there's no like leaderboard system, so
no. And then there are like little things like I cut down half of this building. I wish it would like topple over like that way instead of but like sideways. But no, it just falls all vertically. So, which I'm guessing is like a restriction of Dreams more than anything else.
I don't really know. Like, is it the restriction of Dreams or is like
it's like very difficult to work out?
Yeah, very difficult.
How every single building is going to fall depending on what bricks you break out of it. But yeah, that fire breath or laser breath that looked cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, it's just a cool game. It's like fun little experience. It's fun breaking stuff.
Yeah, exactly. The next one is called Pip Gemwalker, and it was made by ManChickenTurtle. I think this is also one of the most complete experiences because it does have, even though it's only got 7 levels, I think it was 6 or 7. 6 or 7 levels. 7. It has 7 levels in the game, but it then is basically like, here, just fucking make your own levels. Like, at this stage, after you've beat the game, just download
Here's the assets.
Here's the assets, download them, just go make your own levels now. You've seen how they're made, go for gold type of thing. But so this game is also quite funny and has a really cute character because it starts with a slothy hanging off a tree and being a sloth, and then this gem drops from the sky and it pops up. It says Super Speed Ruby, and then little cutie Slothy jumps off the tree and starts walking towards it, and it's like 10 minutes later. Skips ahead. It's like halfway there. 10 minutes later, a little bit closer to the gem. Finally picks up the gem. Oh, Slothy gets the power to move fast.
It's such a good opening.
Yeah, it's quite a funny opening cutscene. It was really good. And then the game is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Treasure Tracker, yeah.
That's basically what the game is. It's so you're walking around these sort of these levels. Squares, yeah, they're just kind of hovering in the fucking sky. And you use the left stick to walk, and then the right stick you use to rotate around. And you can obviously, for it's like Treasure Trove, you could design levels where secrets are like hidden, and you have to like look at the right angle to find them and whatever else. But in general, to beat each level, you just have to find X amount of gems, and they appear as X's on the walls and these sorts of things when you find them, and you walk up to another quick square to hack them out.
Or if you kill an enemy, they get a gem.
Oh yeah, the gem from the enemies.
So you can get more gems than the
that are necessary. Yeah.
100%
those levels. Go for the 100%.
Get those extra gems. Yeah.
Those extra gems. Yeah. But in general, this was fun. Obviously, as soon as I started the game, I was just like, oh, this is so inspired by Captain Toad Treasure Tractor. But the character design of the sloth is also very cute, so that made it fun, especially after the opening cutscene. The only one thing that annoyed me was climbing these fucking ladders because you had to hold L1 for some reason. And I'm like, why do I have to hold L1 to climb the ladders? Like, why can't I just walk the fucking ladders or something? You know, like holding L1 and I'm trying to jump off them and click X at the same time. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah,
so difficult.
Yeah, it was annoying me. That's my one little nitpick, I suppose. And obviously, as you play through the levels, they introduce different things, enemies, things that are shooting rockets for you to dodge and figure out how to get around them and whatever else. So it introduces the elements of the game slowly to you, and then by the end, it's like, okay, just go make your own now. Like, here's the slothy character, have fun. Go for gold, which I guess is like, you know, sort of in the spirit of Dreams. So
Dreams, yeah.
Fits. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I think it's fun. You've got enough levels here that will take you half an hour or more, I guess, depending on how long you struggle to beat them all. And really cute sloth character. I did enjoy the slothy.
Yeah, very cute. Very easy. Like enjoyable puzzle game. Like. There were certain things that I think there was like one level that took a while to get through, but most of them are pretty breezy and easy to figure out. Introduce some sort of robot character that just has sole purpose is to blow up certain things. But yeah, it's a fun little puzzle game to distract you for a little while. Levels are cute. The design is cute. Yeah, it's a cool game.
And then the last one from the Dreams nominees for Dream of the Year was Opposite Day 2 Regular Day by MrCaseyJones. Have not played Opposite Day 1. I don't think that's important at all. And I don't know if there was actually an Opposite Day 1 at all by the time I finished this game. So this game is complete. This is like a full experience that you'll get. And I guess it's obviously, I'd say, inspired by like Stanley Parable Effect and these sorts of comedy games. Walking quote unquote simulator type puzzle thingies or whatever you want to call those. Because as soon as you start the game, it's just like text everywhere and it's like walk through this door. Oh, pick a door to walk through. Oh, lol, they both went the same way anyway. And then the second thing's like, oh, press these buttons in the right order to make sure you do them correctly. And then you press them all and then it's like, it didn't matter what order you press them in. And then the door opens anyway. And then after a while, spoilers, you quickly beat Opposite Day 2, and then you end up in another game, which is Opposite Day 3, and that's a bigger, more open section, whereas the first part of the game, Opposite Day 2, feels like very Stanley Parable effects, like just these corridors and like it's inside a building type thing. And then when you get to Opposite Day 3, which is the game inside a game, it's like this big open area and there's like lots of funny things to find, and including a part where it says stand here on this X for 5 minutes and nothing will happen. And I'm like, fuck it, I've got time. I'll see if anything happens. And I stood on the X and then the message pops up and it's like, nah, nothing's going to happen. Do you want to wait 5 more minutes to find out? And I'm like, nah, fuck it. At this point I'm done. Fuck you. This was funny. I thought this was, I enjoyed the humor and the trolly nature of it. It was good fun, I thought. Do you like this one?
Yeah, it was a good time. Even from a like design perspective, I don't know how they would have done it in Dreams where if you look a certain direction, then your background, they like remove whatever's behind it. So the door or whatever disappears from behind you. It was placed with like text telling you crap or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. I think it's got an amusing payoff at the end.
Yep.
I wish there was like an exit screen or something, but I didn't know if there was
part
like
of
going to be another.
Yeah.
There was going to be another gag or something, but yeah, it was an amusing like 20 minutes, I guess.
Yeah.
Depending on how much you explore and that kind of thing. The world in Opposite Day 3 is quite large, so there's a lot of little jokes you can look in on. So yeah, it was fun, and the voice acting was good for what it was.
Yeah, good for it wasn't terrible.
Yeah,
it was funny. With the two characters that they have. Yeah, and I don't know. By the time we got to the end, I mean, I'd say people go play this one if you're picking up Dreams on Thursday because it's funny. But I will spoil the ending because it's just slightly, because it ends with these two characters just laughing on loop. Ha ha ha!
Yeah,
ha, ha, ha. And it's like, and they tell you, they literally says like, we're not going to quit the like quit the game, that comes up like, you should probably just quit yourself. It's like, but you sit there, you're like, surely it's going to come up and be like, game over or something. It's like, no, you have to you have to quit the game yourself. There's no end screen. You just sit there forever hearing ha 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 on loop. I'm like, okay, that's funny. I did have a bug happen though, so that it didn't ruin my experience, but it was annoying, which was that text got stuck on my screen from like in opposite day 3. I walked into this pizza dude or whatever, and it's like, press something to say no to accept the job, or press X 50 times to not take the job. And I started spamming X because I'm like, fuck you, I'm gonna press X 50 times. I'll do this shit. And I started pressing it, but then the text got stuck on my screen for the remainder of the game. From then on.
Wait, were you pressing X like in a general place, or you were pressing X in like the spot
in front of him?
Because I did that, and you had to be standing in a certain spot, like pressing the button or whatever.
Well, I did it while standing in front of him, I thought, so, and it wasn't doing anything. But then even if I feel like even if you give up,
maybe you didn't hit it 50 times. Maybe,
but even if you give up at that point, like you'd think if you walk away, the text should obviously.
No, that's not this game.
Disappear off the screen or something. Yeah, so that I don't know. No. Maybe it isn't a bug. Maybe that's part.
Maybe you played it wrong. Yeah,
maybe I played the game wrong.
There was a bunch of like little gags, like don't press L3. It doesn't do anything. Like anytime you press
R3, don't press R3 either. Press L3 and R3 at the same time. Don't press those. Don't press those. Yeah. So that's funny, and they're things you just find by pressing buttons yourself. It's like there's no like hint. Oh, you press these for a joke type thing. So, I did quite enjoy this one, and it is it's half an hour tops, I guess, depending if you was like taking it like as a leisurely kind of thing. But half an hour full, quite funny experience if you're into those sort of games.
Yeah, apparently he's up to opposite day 7, so there's lots of opposite days to catch up on.
Opposite day 7 is probably the first one though.
No.
We'll find out. So that is all of the nominees and the winner we went through obviously last week. If you had to pick one that was your favorite from the whole bunch, which one do you reckon you would pick from?
Maybe Ruckus. I mean, that was a fun little game that sort of is very pretty and like interesting user dreams. But I guess that's kind of like inspired by something. I guess they're all inspired by something. So yeah, I'd say Ruckus. I enjoyed that one the most.
I actually reckon I would pick, as much as I was saying before about they should have built the first level, second level first or something. But I'd actually say Mimeo Prophecy, because that was the one by the time it said, hopefully more's coming soon. I was like, oh, actually want to keep, I'd play more. Like, that was the one I felt the most like, I want more.
It's like, oh no, it's ended.
I was like, I was getting into this. I was enjoying my little group of kid characters on a mission with the doggo friend and gonna go save the world or something. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but that was the one that intrigued me the most, I guess. But also I'm saying, like, I guess I'm picking what one I enjoyed the most, where I guess if I was voting for the actual IMPY Award itself, it's hard to argue with picking Cowboy Town, obviously, because it is a
complete
full experience story and whatever else. So I guess if I wasn't picking Cowboy Town and I had to pick from one of these to win, I'd probably end up picking Opposite Day 2. Possibly.
Yeah.
Or no,
that's a good choice.
Or Pip, probably.
Yeah, Pip's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just all very pretty good.
Just solely because of the like more full experiences to give the full award to, I guess.